you're not taking profits, if this is your first big up and you didn't take any profits on it and you just got wiped a bunch of your unrealized gains, let this be your lesson now. When money wants to move in this market and leave it, it will do it fast and a lot of it.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to your daily fix with NFA OFC. Not financial advice, of fucking course. It is 1 minute into Tuesday, March 19th. Good evening. Or Tuesday, March 19th on the other side of the world. Good afternoon. This is show 50. Thanks for being with us. We did a late night last week and we really like the vibe. So we're going to try to do them a little regularly. It works with our schedule and we're usually up at this hour, maybe hit another time zone or two. I haven't been here. My dad's not doing great and doing a surgery in the next few days. So it'll be up in the air. So I will try to be here to visit with you all as much as possible while we learn all this stuff. We're going to do what we usually do, the money flow cycle, which is the market cap, dominance, Bitcoin, and ETH. Watch where the money is moving in the market so we can find better entries and make more informed and educated decisions, people, so we don't get caught in all this red that's happening right now. We're going to check up on a lot of things that happened last week. Can't we wait to be a part of the conversation because I felt like I missed a lot last week. We've been talking about, Pope and I have been talking about meme coins and kind of what to be prepared for in that respect. So we got to get Pope out here because we can't do it without my favorite primate. What's the difference between not panicking and holding and cashing out your percentage while you have it?
If you are slow trading, you don't care about these retracements. You're not selling out. You know they're going to happen. We talk about they're healthy. Right? But also, like we talked about, that should be a big part of your budget. If you want to learn how to get in and out of these retracements and start stacking those percentages, you left your percentages on the table. You take them, you wait for the pullback, and you buy again in the pullback. And that's why compounding percentages makes you that much more.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
What up?
I think those two shorts, we've been playing them a few times, and those were from a little over a month ago, and man, are they ringing true for a lot of people right now. Welcome to crypto. If you're new and you haven't been going through this is normal. And honestly, this is great. Thank you, Supreme. The shorts fit the market very much like your
surely
TA.
Do.
Your TA is fire, my brother. But let's jump in. Tonight is different. We like the midnight show because they're a little more lax. We get a little bit of time, and it's a chill. It's a vibe. Sometimes I'll be on camera. Sometimes I won't. And I'm going to go through what we normally do in depth, which is the money flow cycle. If you are in the long-term, long hold buy, and you're going to be here for another 8 months and you're not going to trade in and out, power to you. That's a great philosophy. Part of that is my budget, that style, but it is not my primary style of trading. And this show kind of focuses why you should look at the money flow cycle if you want to stack your percentages, because it gives you the idea of when to get in and when to get out. But nobody has a perfect crystal ball. So what we try to do is we use our tools, we use strategy, and we use a few other things. What do you think, on the top or on the left? How do you like?
I like it right there.
All right, let's do it.
I was looking at one of your shorts today, and it was talking about how, when you see the red, that's when you get hungry. So people need to change their mindset a little bit instead of all this FOMO and panic.
As you know, I've been doing a lot of research. So I actually haven't been looking at the charts much at all today. And these days come. And there's a few surprises here and a few that aren't. But there's a lot of reassurance, and we're going to go into a few things. If you were in our Discord over the weekend, we went in great depth from what happened here Thursday all the way up. And I'm going to bring that up in a little bit. But if you haven't been in the Discord and you watch us Monday to Friday and this is your thing, This is where we left off. And obviously, we did not get up into the 2.77, consolidate, and go to retest that 3, which we know is the all-time high. Need to break out and retest it. Makes sense because we've had a lot of up. But we can see when we drew this consolidation box on the daily, we know this due to our colors, that it didn't even hit the bottom of it at the 2.32. I really wanted to hold these in here. This mark. I didn't want to come down here again. Looks like in the last little bit, we've already had that little bit of a pullback. Jay, you said it might be good. Why? Well, let's get rid of the squiggles because those ones didn't pan out. Now, these were our squiggles from before, and it has been following that trajectory. And we always say these can curl at any time, and that's what we're looking for. So here's where they curled. There's a lot of days of up, and we didn't think we were going to ever go straight up. We always talk about laddering. So what I want to do now, because it is Monday and we're looking fresh, we're not going to get rid of that. We're just going to move it to a later date and time. It's exactly what we still need to do.
I can't quite tell. Is there a wick on that last candle? Just a hint of one?
Here? Last candle or current candle?
On that,
This-
yeah, that candle right there. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a little wick. It's moving as we're talking.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Just a hint.
So we can see if you're not using our tools, one of them right now with our strategy is our micro bear, micro bull tool. And as soon as we see a curl and we're in a bull, an upwards trend, we know price action's coming down, or in this case, volume. And no one indicator's right. We have our critical greed, our critical fear and critical greed firing here. It's been firing a long time. Makes sense. We've had a fuck ton of money injected into the crypto space. A ridiculous amount of money since February. How much? Oh, thank you for asking. I was wondering.
I'm always looking for a percentage for my little perspective, my brain.
We had $1.18 trillion in 37 days. Half the entire market cap right now. Half of all of the entire money, or just a little shy of half, for all those that want to cut hairs, that is in the entire market happened in the last 37 days. That's fucking huge. If that happened to any other market, it'd be nuts. What are we doing? We're holding this area. We haven't even wicked down to these levels that we did a couple of weeks ago. What did I say was in my inbox, Miss Crypto Katie?
Earlier today, you mean?
You just like on in general. Yes.
Oh,
today.
just panic, chickens, sheep, DMs. What are we doing? What's happening?
Yeah. Is the bull run over?
Do we sell? Do we sell everything? I got to get out of here. We lose all my money.
Now, I'm not saying we haven't had down, but when half of your entire market cap, pretty much, or just shy thereof, we're splitting hairs, came in a little over a month, we should be understanding that, okay, this is making sense. Where do we start to concern? If you're not stop lost out and you're like, I'm getting damn close, what's going on? We zoom out. We could very much come down to that level that we have in there. We could very much come down to here. We've had all this. I mean, all this if you're really following me, but majority of this has happened this year. And it's been unprecedented how fast this has happened. And we've been talking about how we're going to have one of these. We haven't had one of these yet. Everybody is so high on crypto right now. Like so high. Makes sense.
Are you so high?
I wish, you know what I'm saying? Even on
that candle right there, the second last candle, I think that one, can you zoom in on that one a little bit? It's a little bit tiny for me. Oh, okay. My understanding is ones like that are like indecision and possibly a shift in the market.
Well,
red one.
It's almost like I call a reckoning. Right?
You say the reckoning?
Yeah, we're looking at this as a week.
Yeah.
I see price action and money like a pissing contest. Literally. It's a rich man's, woman's game, old money, cabal, whatever you want to call it. It's a pissing contest between the bulls and the bears. This here is 1 week, and what a hell of a pissing contest between the two of them to end up virtually right where they left off. It's always a battle back and forth. That's why I like looking at Bollinger Bands. It's a battle always to get to the median. When it breaks the bottom band with a red and a green, we know it's trying to get back up. When it breaks the top band with a green and a red, we know it's trying to get back down. We have, from everything you've been watching with us, if you've been with us from day one, what do we have?
Looks like we're just waiting for that handle to come on through.
I mean, come on, man. Right? Is the sky falling? No. What happened is we all got a little greedy. And
or smart people take profits. It's also what I've heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, is this going to get a bearish cross? Let's get rid of some of this stuff to make it easier. It's Monday. We can clean this up.
I mean, technically it's Tuesday, so.
You just come down over there. Are we going to compress? Are we going to get a cross? Are we going to come down? That's the $1 million question. And when we're getting tight in these areas on the dailies, weekly, we haven't curled yet. We've just had some consolidation holding this line. It's not bad. Not great, but it's reasonable.
You wouldn't say that is a curl back where we were just now? You said we haven't curled yet. Would that not be?
We haven't even straightened yet on
right
those
there,
two
yeah.
sides. We haven't technically
Something
curled.
to keep an eye out for.
It's wanting to.
Mm-hmm.
It's
although we've seen this a lot before, where it comes down a little bit and then it pops up again, so we don't know.
Hinting at it like it did here, but this is a reasonable pull down. This was an epic battle that ended in neutral for that week. Right? And we look at it literally as a pissing contest, Bears and Bulls. What a stalemate. What a stalemate. Right? If you're in the crowd cheering,
for weeks.
Stalemate. Winner. This guy can never lose. Gets the knock fucked out. No, that's going to be the only time. No, loses again. We know we're in a bullish sentiment. We know things are happening. Are we going to have the 3 down? Day is where we determine the weeks. We've already now had it. We're at a point of contention. I haven't changed any of this outside of we just moved this squiggle over and we didn't get the curl where we wanted it. But we've always said, look, that it could come down to these levels. This is healthy. We were talking about this back here. It's holding here. We're saying worst case, it could get to here. This is fucking great right now. What we want is to maintain these higher lows. So if you're unsure what's going to happen on the daily, which now is a whole lot of uncertainty, except strength, little bit below the median, which we haven't been in a while. Median's lost in here somewhere. But we are in a bullish situation here. Talking with my hands, you can't see me. My bad. And we have a downward action. It would make sense. Come again.
I was going to say, why are you saying we're in a bullish section?
Well, because right here, we're talking market cap. We're not talking a coin. Right.
Right. But on the lower graph,
so
I think
if this was a token, a trading pair,
yeah,
your stochastic RSI when they cross in this bottom here is an entry signal.
Mm-hmm.
The top is your exit. So where's the last time these crossed on the bottom?
A little while ago.
That's a hella entry.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see ups, retracement. This is just one big ass up retracement. Retracement. But we have all this going on during it. Is this where we stay? Because if we do come down to these levels, you think you've seen pain? The 4 hour gives us a better indication. Of what's happening on the dailies.
It's been toying around in that box a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, you can see for quite some time we've been on this trend line. And we haven't added. This is all old. And then now, great entry. Bottom of the belly, which you know I love. All the indications of coming up. But yet here we are. With indication of possibly going down, strength with that wick. Been in this area before, held. Coming into entries. Well, let's look at the bigger picture, the macro. It's a hell of a week this week. I missed it. My bad. I only caught it yesterday. There's a lot of numbers coming out. And numbers bring instability. And I've said this many times, if you followed for a while, that I like to stand on the sidelines of instability. If you're watching on the 4 hour, which is one of my favorite, you could set an alert to our tools. So when a micro bear crosses, you just get out and wait for a bull and save this pain. Could be part of your strategy. And you'd be sitting pretty right now for these last few days while we try to find this belly. Because clearly it wasn't here or here. And by the way these things are spreading right now,
I think it's going to keep going a little bit.
it's showing a lot of strength in this area. But this is when I said, what's the market? What's the macro? And this is a crazy week. There's mixed reviews on spring break. Sell it. People are going on holidays. They want profits. They don't want to think about it. But what I missed was some key numbers this week. Wednesday, I guess Tuesday now, so tomorrow, we have the consumer price index for the Brits. In the US, we have FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, and they're the ones that determine your monetary policy. Pretty sure there's probably no corruption there. And if you don't know, monetary policy is basically what your banks are borrowing from the federal government and how they determine interest. The last one we had was in January. The interest rate was in the low fives, 5.25%, 5.5%. And as Supreme said, it was a big nothing burger, I believe was the words he used. And sometimes they are. If we maintain where we are for those kind of numbers, it is a nothing burger. If those drastically change, and small percentages drastic in these things, that does have an effect. So that's Wednesday. On Thursday, France, Germany, and Great Britain have your manufacturing PMI numbers, which is your purchasing managers index, which basically is your percentages and your stats about how are markets expanding, how are they staying the same, are they decreasing, and that's your retail in all aspects from manufacturing and production. So if markets are expanding, that's healthy. If they're the same, that's stability. If they're decreasing, not so much. And then also on Thursday, the Brits got their monetary policy and their bank rate. And then to top Thursday off with a wonderful Sunday sandwich is a U.S. unemployment and their purchasing managers index numbers. And then to follow up Thursday's clusterfuck of bad news probably is going to be followed up with Friday for the retail sales for the Brits. And then we have the Euro Summit. And the Euro Summit is just probably exactly as it sounds. A whole lot of whatever goes on in those rooms and backdoors and policy, but they're in charge of the economic monetary union and how they oversee the function between the nations. And we already know that right now there's a bunch of recessions happening throughout Europe. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is set up for bad news. And I apologize. I actually didn't catch this until late yesterday. And if you were on the 4 hours, the cross happened. This is where you have to trust our indicators. We have to trust our data. And the reason I'm stopped here on the market cap is nothing else fucking matters in this entire space than the total market cap. If you do not understand the total market cap, you're going to lose at this game. You might get lucky, but you're not going to get great. And understanding the money flow is so important if you're on these slower trades and swing trading, which we're about to show you the trades that we've been in since day one. trades we're looking at and some of our strategy, and why we have a midnight show tonight to talk a little bit about that. Part of our strategy has always been take profits, because if you don't, I will. And I always like to say lamb is on the menu. In fact, lamb's getting harder to find on restaurant menus right now. But
It's easy to find in the crypto market.
everywhere. So with the strategies become the set and forgets. And these are the tokens where we think over this next run are going to do very well. And we've been picking bangers. If you've been with me throughout Twitter before we even started on the YouTube thing, we've been picking bangers for years. And what I've been saying before is, and why I pause so much on the market cap, is we're not in an alt run. If you think you're making money in alts and seeing it, you haven't seen it yet. We're still in a Bitcoin dominant market. And until that changes, we're in such great form. And this is a nice pullback when we're looking to what's happening in our money, to what's happened back here. Little consolidation, little consolidation. This is experience and growth over the years. This is what it was here. This is where we're in the market right now, people. Right here. Just fast forward, it happens to be here. We did a tweet of a layout of the psychology of the market laid over of two back to back. I'll pull it up on Twitter.
It's my favorite one.
And I'll see where we're at currently from that graphic. I'm willing to bet you this is on par. Hey, tacos tomorrow. Okay. This is on par to that graphic.
Yeah.
If not, you got lunch. So to put that in perspective, we still have all this to go. And this. And then this. We're here during this bull run, but here. We haven't experienced any of this yet.
And this is why we've been cramming, the total market cap and the money flow cycle for 50 shows now. We've just been cramming it down people's throats because we just want them to know, to where to watch to see where the money's going. Like I said, always say at the beginning, to make better decisions, we got to look at this stuff first. You know what I'm saying? Paul?
Oh, I'm picking up what you're saying. Look at this rectangle here. That rectangle kind of symbolizes that rectangle.
Like a little miniature version?
This, exactly what you just said, is going to be the miniature version of this one. Stop being Chicken Little. Oops. We are in healthy retracement. If you're sitting at a loss of unrealized gains right now, that's the point of that short we started with. There's going to be a lot of these. We ain't seen nothing yet. Not all of us, we're all going to make the mistakes of getting in and out at the wrong time, or panicking, or feeling the FOMO. And if you were in the Discord on the weekend, you can see how we were monitoring it. and where we were keeping key levels, and how we talked about stop limit management and taking profits at key levels. And this is why I'm not panicking yet, just because since we've been talking, you can already see how much wick we've pulled back. Does it make sense we'll have resistance at this wick here? Probably.
I've lost my light. I'm going to turn my camera off for a second.
When we look at what we were talking about in our Discord when this fall started, this big green channel here, we can see starts back in January, and we've been up into this trend. We were holding the median of this trend up until the last few candles. When we just reviewed the news and the uncertainty, it makes sense that right now there's some fear, some wicking out. On the 4 hour, we still have looking like some pain. We're not down in here again. We only have 30 minutes left, though. This can change quickly in 30 minutes. And I haven't changed these since we were addressing them on the weekend. And if this holds, which ironically is the top of these two wicks here, the resistance, which would actually make sense that that would hold to there. We'll leave that now. We know trying to get back to this 245 is going to be a battle again. And it's going to be a battle getting up unless we have a mass infusion. We have spring break and all that news. And right now, our 4 hour indicator is telling us, there might be some pain. Where's our next stop? In this box. I don't want to go into this box. We fought hard to get up this. There's lots of money flowing in. I'd like to see one of these. A little cool down, a little breathing is what I would like to see. Right now, it's been doing it. Because I think if we touch past this start of this, it's going to go through it fast. Whether it stays or not, it's going to go through. So what we need to see for the total money in is we need to see this relax. And since we've been talking for the last 30 minutes, we have. And that's healthy. Bunch it down, makes sense. We want to consolidate on this line.
That would be very cool if it held that line.
It would be. And a lot of the news this week is going to determine whether we stay in these areas, which rectangle we're staying in. And if you are short-term trading and you haven't been stopped out, this is the worst spot to be. Because now you're like, I have to dollar cost entry. And where am I catching falling knives throughout this weekend just based on the money flow? And this is the tease. But now knowing the events of what's coming this week, yeah, market uncertainty worldwide makes sense. Makes sense. Big picture, slow trading, slow holding, none of this matters. This shows reprieve. We're in an entry. We're in money's coming in. We're in fear.
These are good signs to say we should be holding here, which we've been holding minus the all-time high of Bitcoin since beginning of the month, a couple of weeks. We want these W's I keep talking about. We want to go higher, then down, and higher. This is healthy. When you're in the middle of it and you're experiencing it and you're watching your balance every day, every hour, every 2 hours, how are your nerves? I really want to see to hold this line until I start to panic. And great opportunities for entry in terms of things. Oops. But this here does not mean we're finding decent entries. There may be way more pain in some of the alts. And that comes down to our dominance. And our dominance, we want it to come down. We were saying we want to see another kind of bloop bloop, but no, it stayed here. It consolidated in this area. And it's still looking like it wants to go up. We haven't seen a curl in dominance. So the money is not flowing into alts. Let's tell you the exact opposite. Money is leaving the alts. That's why you're bleeding right now if you're in alts. Short term, now you're riding out or looking for dollar cost entry. Long term, you're not even looking, caring. Have a snack.
I may have looked and panicked a little today.
Right? When we look at Bitcoin and we keep talking about this, I can't even make sense of these drawings because we haven't talked to them the last week. Let's just see if we can make sense of this. This is if we go up. This line here is if we curl. Same. This line, price, will go down if we curl. We came right down to just above this consolidation box that we drew how long ago? And now we're in this bottom quarter of it between 63,209 and 65,7457. So I'm off by about $500 in your bottom part of this box. And we were already talking about, we have a channel down. We know when you have a channel down, you have your retest, it failed. It didn't go out, so it's coming down. So Bitcoin hasn't done anything crazy. In fact, this is great for Bitcoin. Why? Market's cooled. A buy position, middle. We're not over ecstatic. We're not in fear. Right in the middle. Don't get much more middle than that. Up, down, consolidate. At the end of the day, we're consolidating in uncharted territory. Consolidating is strength. We're showing strength at this price. This is saying right now, when we look at the price action, Bitcoin's at least worth $6,000 or $63,343.55. It's not saying it can't come down more, but it's fought to here, and it's been holding this level. Wicked out a few times. And if we look at, let's get rid of all this crap now. It's Monday. If we look at what's going on,
In 16 hours, we need to break out of here. Does it seem likely with everything we've done? I don't know. Seems more likely to me we're going to bounce in this area. Maybe wick down somewhere. Might have a wick. Oh, this is on the daily. I'd more see this in the 4-hour. Come on. Oh. And we might see that breaking below that 60 mark. I'd be shocked, but not saying it couldn't happen. That curve might come down, and that price action might be in here, which is up thick. Isn't that beautiful? Squiggles. Gotta love them. So far, yeah. I mean, the last few days have sucked. Lots of bad news. Bears coming. Hopefully we stabilize here and we go off to this next leg up. We're still in this channel. It can never be all straight up. That's not healthy. We want to play this game for the next 10 to 15 months. The faster it just goes, the less time we get to play this game. And this is a game I don't want to stop. Ethereum has been amazing. You're in the Discord. We've been calling this since the start of the show, since the start of the Discord, and then sold the top. Epic. It's been a blast. Love it. What are our indicators saying? Looking like we may be coming into a micro bear with the news and everything. Yeah, I could see a cross coming and us bouncing somewhere or holding this area. We know this is weekly. It's gold. It's got the purple shade. This is the colors I use for weekly consolidation. Support resistance. It's holding it. That's what we need. It doesn't, it's coming down. It's got 5 days to figure it out. Slight curl. Cooling. Cooling. Not curl. Curl, compression. Still got lots of space between the two. Lots of up, a little bit of cooling. All right. Healthy. Makes sense. We want to stay here and go off up into here. This is our next target. But we have to chill. We have to stay at this level. Otherwise, we're going to come down, fight this level. I think we'll stay. Might wick down, sure. And then same thing. Going to break out, come up, break out, come up, break out, come up, break out. Maybe a fast down. Who knows? This is what tells us. We're in a buy position. The greed, the fear, people are panicking now. It's over. My inbox is flooded. Was that the bull run? Was that the bull run?
Didn't you hear the bull run's over, apparently?
If you're asking if that was the bull run, first off, we've been on a bull run for 2 years. Second off, healthy retracement. Third off, we haven't even seen the alt run yet. This is a Bitcoin. We haven't even got into the alt cycle. And if you don't know what the alt cycle is, I'll hopefully have a handout for you soon. There's more info out there. We've talked about it a few times. So this is where we want to hold. And it makes sense to me with all the down we had, some consolidation and up. And we've been calling Ethereum like a boss. I want Ethereum to have its day. We just had the DACAN or DOCAN or whatever it was for the layer 2 efficiency of the gas of the blockchain. And apparently it's been working great. I don't know, because to be honest, I actually haven't interacted with any blockchain in the last few days. It's kind of refreshing.
Can I ask a question?
Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, talk to me.
Stay on the market cap. When we talk about uncharted territory for other tokens, and it's usually just a question mark when we talk about that. Things are getting higher than their highest high. We don't know what's going to happen. When we look at the total market cap and we're seeing it coming up to hit its kind of highest high, what does that uncharted territory look like?
Well, okay, so that's just over 3 trillion. Right. So that right there for candle closes, not wicks, is 2.8 something, 2.831. Sorry, classes late night. Right. We broke it momentarily at 3.01 on the daily. Oops. Oh, only wicked. I thought we actually got a candle close. My bad. But I remember that. I remember when we were fighting for 2. I remember when we were fighting for 1, 1.5, 2, 3. We're having a pullback. And when I wanted to say, like, when we were looking at it in comparison of, you know, Bitcoin, oh, my bad, hold on. That this here was this here. And that this part here is this part here. This is where we are. We haven't had that 117 up yet. When you look at the psychology and the flow and everything, and you go back and you compare the data, come back to me. I love nothing more than data, numbers, and patterns. Emotion and people and echo chambers are what? Now, pre-halving and the halving, yeah, we're going to have pullback. We've been talking about this. Is that the start of that? Maybe. And what's going to determine that, as we always say, is this. And if this doesn't hold, which just in now this 50 minutes we've been talking, that is strength. That is strength to the tune of 936. Oh, 1.47. Sorry. I thought we were on our total market cap. I'm like, no way, that's the numbers. But even with Bitcoin, strength. I think we do this poll and we come back up. We'll probably make a little teacup in this formation, up, down, and ugly. But watch your retests and watch what's happening with the news and everything else. That's the wick I was talking about for money. Just since we've been talking, we've had $41.71 billion roughly injected back into crypto. pissing contest. So some of the trades we've been doing throughout the show, I'm going to quickly cover. We've had some great calls on the hunts, covered on the show, and what's going on. Something I want to talk about just before we dig into that is what we're looking at right now when we just looked at how Bitcoin is having that retracement like ages ago. We're looking at market news that could be nothing burgers. I mean, we already know the general state of a lot of the economies and things. So I don't expect too much massive swings. Everything is happening within the consolidation areas that we've been looking at and what we've been talking about. But when we want to look at strategy and we want to look at sheeple mentality or public mentality, retail, what is the market doing? What is the market thinking? What is the market doing? That's where when we add our tools, I find that separates us, because we look at the data and then we also look at the market. And what's going on in our market right now, it is a clusterfuck of meme coins. Everybody is on the scratch and win program. You can't scroll and not see how many things. I've talked to Katie and many other people in the past, and early people that we've talked this through has been, when I first started, there was 9,000 cryptos. Now we have millions of cryptos. And it's because of all these gambling, the scratch and wins, the shit tokens, the lottery tickets, the hopium, all that rush is back. To deny it, you're on track. You would absolutely be absurd to deny this is happening. It's happening. How do you capitalize on it? Well, there's a few ways. You can capitalize smartly, or you can capitalize riskfully, or you can do a combination, a little bit of all the above. How do you capitalize on this smartly? Well, where's the money? It's on Solana. Solana has been outperforming on a percentage return over BTC and ETH lately. There's way more room to grow. We looked at Ray, which is a pro. Oh my God, it's late. Sorry. It's a Solana. I want to say it's a Solana DeFi protocol for liquidity pools. And when we looked at that, it was brought to my attention by somebody in our Discord, Spaceboy. You're awesome. And I mentioned it was brought to a lot of people in my DMs at the time. And I brought it up for the first time, kind of looking at it in a long, long time on the show. And what did I say? I said this thing was primed. 2 hours after the show, this thing rocketed, I think, 70%. You can go back and check. That's not what the point is. This thing popped. Why did it pop? It popped because the TA was right and the market attention was right. The market attention has been AI. That has shifted massively in the last 3-4 days to meme coins. We've all seen the different, I burned $10 million. I mean, the best part of crypto is there's every time you think you've seen it all in this fucking space, I took a little touch grass Saturday and I wake up to, people's tokens to the tune of $10 million being burned. And then this thing taking off, number net millionaires. Yeah, I saw that happening. No, who did? Nobody. This is the wild, wild west state of the gambling, and we're just getting started. So there are safe bets to play in that market, in this market. And those safe bets right now, in my opinion, is Solana. And we've talked about this for a while. And in our Discord, when we called out, hey, I'm getting out of ETH and I'm reverting to, we sold the top out of ETH and we did a degen buy of 169.42 for the degens. Even if you did not take any profits or wherever or what, you're still in just shy of 10% in 3 days. But you probably more doubled that. And if you knew how to use our indicators and you knew strategy and how to use tools that don't get in your way, you would be more in that. Pullback, up, healthy retracement, up, healthy retracement, up, healthy retracement, fighting back, strength. It's been holding this area. It goes up, it pulls back, it goes up, it pulls back. Indicators telling you it's coming into a buy zone. We haven't been below the median in some time. Not saying this can't turn into a micro bear and come right back down to this level of our entry. Not saying it can't, especially with bad news. And that's where you have to make these decisions as a trader. If this is a long-term trade, who cares? If this was a short-term trade, my question is, after 20%, why aren't you taking profit? It's 20%. That's a ridiculous amount of money. We know after a whole bunch of green, there's going to be some red. I mean, guys, we've made it as simple as you can wait till it crosses down here and sell when it crosses up here. Green, red down here, green, red, green down here, green, red up here. Critical. I mean, we've given you so many tools and how to interpret those tools.
It's true. Everything you've got there is right from the basics to, you know, your red, green, green, red, up until all of your other indicators and your TA that we can do. So
right.
It's only so much you can give them, Pope.
There's my horse. And you can see we're fighting this 4-hour consolidation for support and resistance at the moment. I know this candle's not over. It's got an hour and 30, but it's already tried and pulled back right to here. So if we do get across, is it coming down to this support?
Can your TA in that, because I know you're looking down, it could come down to here. You go next. Where's the next point of resistance and support?
Mm-hmm.
Is it our TA that can help us kind of know that, or do we just need to prepare for that?
Both. Both. Sadly, isn't the answer you probably wanted to hear. Because on the daily, we're unsure. Compression, pullback, this is all natural to me. Right? Bollinger's telling us a green out, a red in. That's an exit. Bollinger. RSI, look how much greed is firing. Our critical greed has fired. Our critical greed is fired back here too. Right? Now we're out of the sell position. When the lines are crossed up here, that's a sell. We're no longer in a sell. That's healthy sign. Holding this line, healthy sign. Whole bunch of ups coming down, holding, healthy sign. Now we go off again. Okay. But if
you've gone, just to interrupt for a second, you've gone for about an hour, so you know.
Cool beans. Welcome to the Midnight Show, 1 in the morning on the Pacific West Coast. If you've just tuned in.
If you've just tuned in, this is not financial advice, of fucking course.
Right. Show number 50, guys. Thanks for coming out. That we've been doing on NFA. I've been doing this for a few years. Found a great team along the way. from our moderators in our Discord to the Crypto Katie, Primo, our editor, guy behind the scenes that does all those shorts and make us look good, which will be rolling out like crazy over the next little bit now. Shorts will be from our modules, our strategies, and then information taken from these shows. So when we look out at the 2 hour, we're seeing some nice ups and downs, a little under the median, but we're starting to see a belly. We're starting to see how much strength has been pulled back each time. It makes sense that this is going to start to curl. We're going to buy. Lots of healthy ups, lots of fear with the news. Is the sky falling? No. Did people take profits before you? Yeah, probably. And that's why you feel the way you do. Cosmos. What did we say when we looked at it last? It could go up, consolidate in this rectangle area. But if this curled, would it possibly come down to here? Well, look at the cross. We haven't quite got it. Look where we are. Are you trying to tell me what I said earlier? I like W's. W. Buy here, sell here, short here, sell here, long here, buy here, sell here. This, ladies and gentlemen, on for short trading is how you do it. The difference is we're not going to get down here. We're in a bull market. We're probably going to get to here and then go off and get a slightly higher high. All right. So it makes sense that we get this cross, wherever that cross may happen to be, and we come down and then we go up. But this low is typically higher than this low. And that's this motion that we're looking for. Except when you zoom in, it's a whole lot of and that's why if you're swing trading, you can't let this in the short terms bug you. And if you're just here to set and forget and buy red days. I've said that I don't know how many times. Just buy red and hold and forget. But if you're here to swing and take these 20, 40, 50%, get out, get in, get out on these waves, it's the emotion and the faith in our tools. If you can have that control, actually, let's keep that, see how it plays out. If you can keep that under control, this is really good. And right now, like I said earlier, this is the worst time for what's going on in the market with all this crazy financial news and no real crosses and consolidation. Now is not a bad time to be on the sidelines. If you are, I bet you're happy you are. Phantom. I mean, we called Phantom here. With all these pullbacks, if you're just tuning in and this is new, that's where we called Phantom. With all the shit and everything going on in 41 days, you're still up 144%. We even said it would probably and make it to here. We did this ages before this happened. Where did it stop? Right here. Makes sense. Phantom's probably going to have a little bit of a pullback. It's been on nothing but a tear since we've been doing it. Indicators are still saying we got nothing but legs. Had a whole lot of pullbacks these last 2 week candles. Well, this week and this week. not in the best position in the weekly. Makes sense. Same on a 4-hour. That's a tough call. That's actually kind of a crazy chart. Huh. Makes sense that we'll have a little bit more of a pullback. So right now, with all that, everything is lining up. It's making sense. I know we're going a little over an hour. When we were talking about, here was our entry at Kasuma. The gold line was our entry. Our next entry we gave was here. I mean, you're almost back. Remember I said this whole line up? We even gave an entry here. We zoom in. There was another entry that hit on that line. It was gorgeous. Whoops. And we said it needed to hold this area in here ages ago. And if it didn't, it was going right through it. Oh, now it is. What's going to happen? Well, it's pulled back substantially. Will it hold? Will it hold? It's been holding these areas, lots of down. Makes sense. You're getting the entry that we gave you 20 days ago. And you probably still have a better entry coming. So when you're doing these slow trades, we'll take ours. And we talk about why wouldn't you take profits? Why the hell would you not have taken profits? To ride it all the way back down again. Unless you're buying here and you're holding till the end of the bull run. But this is because we haven't seen an alt run. How many times have I said, and I've quoted Becker, if you're not used to seeing 20 to 40 to 60% wiped off the table, you haven't seen nothing. Welcome to crypto. What are we making?
W's all over.
Play these swings. Right? So what am I doing right now? I mean, look at Casper. This is where we told you to short it. This is where we told you to long it. This is where we gave you another long. Somewhere in here, I was like, this is kind of getting boring. We're out. We'll cover different tokens, more growth. We're coming almost all the way back down to this area. I wouldn't be surprised if we swing back into this 3912.
Considering this Casper and kind of the motions that we've gone through it, would you actually put some money on something like this if it continued to drop and the indicators were on our side?
I'd be in this area for sure. That 3912 higher. Higher
highs, higher lows, baby.
All right. Now, granted, all of a sudden we might get a rocket. But just understanding these flows. Whoops. One, two, three touches, parallel channel, nice W's. When you can understand these patterns, and then now we're making, if we can hold this here, that's strong. I have a feeling we're coming down here. This Casper. actually.
If only I could take your feelings to the bank.
Well, a lot of people, huh? So what am I doing right now is we were talking about what's happening in the market. What is the trend? It's the meme coins. It's all this stuff, right? So I'm going through my groups, for lack of better words, my friends, my influencers, the people I've come to know and trust for 4 years in this space. And I'm compiling a list of all of their favorites. And then what is the common thread between all of them? And then what is the TA on that common thread? That there is my secret sauce. And that's what I'm working on to bring you guys, and you'll have that list. And we have time. Why? The markets are telling us we have time. There's no
People
panic.
on our Discord have a great eye as well. It's
Oh,
really interesting to see people coming in with, just what they're noticing, patterns they're seeing, the
they've been
confluence,
banging.
and then having mods and confirm or say otherwise. Everyone's listening. Desi just showed up.
Or Desi. And that's just it. Like we've been the group, many hands make light work. And we're all learning. And like I said, there's so much stuff happening out there that spotted there. That we don't know everything. And when we can get together and learn from one another and share things and catch these, it's great. So my goal here for the next couple of days is to get this list from my groups and the things that haven't hit yet, and the TA, and what is making sense with where the money is moving in the market, to be able to bring what I think where the next hits are. And we've had some pretty banging hits. We've gone a nice 8 days without any silly catching falling knives or panicking or anything
No
like that.
panicking, full confidence. Although I am still looking at my long holds when I shouldn't be, but I'm not panicking when I see them. So that's
That
something.
being said, when a lot of money wants to leave, getting out in profit or getting out to re-enter in a better position is not panicking. And that is why we need to follow this money flow. That is why we need to do the amount of research and due diligence that we do, so we can stack our capital, protect our capital, and trust me, we haven't seen nothing yet. We haven't seen nothing.
Hope sometimes these are mixed messages though, dude.
What are you
Sometimes
saying?
it's like hold them and like let them go, don't look at them. And then sometimes it's like, but why don't you take the
Different
profit?
strategies.
I don't know. I don't know
Different
what to do
strategies.
and when. Although
Different
before
strategies.
all of this red, it would have been nice to actually, dump it. And obviously there's some excellent entries right now, or there will be. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like the mixed messages sometimes.
It's different strategies. If you're in this for long term, you're never worried about retracements. If you're here trying to stack capital on capital and catch every one of these 20 or 40% gains before they 15 to 20% pullback, you need to get in and out. You need to understand the money flow. But if you want to buy, set, and forget, and not have to worry about looking at Twitter, looking at the money flow, looking at the markets, understand that we're in a bull run. Understand that we are in a macro market unlike many other times for all other types of markets all at the same time. You can just literally, the easiest thing to do right now to make money is to buy it and forget the fuck about it. Over contemplating, over panicking, overthinking in all of these conditions right now is what's going to hinder your progress.
And this is what we always talk about, like being confident in your TA and in the confluence you've seen, and not messing up your TA just to make it fit with your narrative. So Oh, it's a practice. It's a practice. But yeah, I didn't panic over the recent retracements, even on my long-term hold. So I feel like that's something.
Nice. Game day decision for tomorrow. Do you want to do a midnight show? Do you want to do the 7 p.m.? What do you feel?
Do we need to decide right now?
No.
We did talk about doing a regular show, but it gives us more time in the day to sort of get some things done. So I don't know. I feel like we could go back and forth. Maybe a couple times
Well,
a week we can do late night shows, or I don't
let's
know.
leave it as a game day decision for tomorrow. We are
Game.
doing a ton of data, compiling, research, TA to bring you what I think the next moves are going to be, why I don't think the sky is falling quite yet, where I think we are in the market, where you saw right now, and how we have to go. That's a bit for me. I think that's about it for me. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. We got a good list going, and we're just going to keep going at it. So let's work on that tomorrow, Pope. What do you say?
Remember.
What's the difference between not panicking and holding and cashing out your percentage while you have it?
If you are slow trading, you don't care about these retracements. You're not selling out. You know they're going to happen. We talk about they're healthy. Right? But also, like we talked about, that should be a big part of your budget. If you want to learn how to get in and out of these retracements and start stacking those percentages, yeah, you left your percentages on the table. You take them, you wait for the pullback, and you buy again in the pullback. And that's why compounding percentages makes you that much more.
That ape dude, I swear. If I could listen to him and follow that dude's advice, oh my God. Stacks.
If only you had training modules. If only.
Right? Or some tools or something.
Ladies
and gentlemen, see you in the Discord. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Supreme. Thanks, Desi, for showing up. You guys are the best.